Each and every one of you tonight. This is the Leadership Unplugged, a small group focused on dialogue and leadership here at Lemon Life Center, 4 West 43rd Street. And tonight we have with us Alex, Jorge, and John, myself, Esteban. I want to welcome all of you who are listening in and viewing this wonderful program we have for tonight. This is our 6th of the 10 series, the sessions on dialogue and leadership, and I want to welcome each and every one of you. As I was coming here tonight, I'm thinking how some people listening in and watching must wonder why we keep emphasizing and why we even started this small group. And it's also because we have to know that around and introduce ourselves.
Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm happy to be here. And
we're happy you're here.
Don't you worry.
You have to explain. Okay. Okay.
My name is Luciano.
Luciano.
Yes. My first name is Eileen.
Eileen. Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm Joel Herrera. Glad to be here.
My name is John. Happy to be here.
Thank you. My name is Jorge. Jorge, nice to meet you.
Oh, my name's Alex.
Very good. My name is Esteban. So let's roll. We want to get started. Last week when we finished up, we finished talking about some of the quotes that we had, and then we went on after that. We talked about each other's assessment, evaluation, and appreciation of each other.
Yeah, that was nice.
Do anybody want to sort of finish that up? Say something just to say what your experience, just touching on a little bit, then we'll go on with the evening here.
But it was very nice, we get to know what I liked, because you asked us, what was our first impression of one another when around the table, and then we asked, what have we seen in change, as the week go on, and all of what we said was like what we've learned from one another, So I think it was good to just touch ground of how we've learned personally from our own experience with one another. I think it was very, very good activity.
So I brought tonight an article here that might share, and the article is entitled "The Growing Interest in Leadership Today." And the opening 2 sentences and the closing paragraph. The author says, "Talk about leadership abounds today. Voices on many sides deplore its absence or mediocrity, betrayal or corruption. The young are suspicious of it. The middle-aged, they tend to resent it, and the elderly long for it." The bottom paragraph. If it is the case, it prompts a series of questions. First, why is there, comparatively speaking, such a preoccupation with leadership today? When does a concern with tend to surface, or is it a relatively constant affair? From whom does the main interest come? A particular group, class, or ethnicity, or is it widespread across the population? What personal, social, cultural factors lie at its heart? Second, what key dimensions of leadership require attention today? What arenas of life, family, school, church, community, business, politics, are most in view when considering leadership? Or does an interest in it appear across the board? How much is leadership an intriguing or a disturbing feature of social life? Does culture have the greater influence on what way leadership is understood and implemented? Or do the views and methods of leadership have a greater influence on culture?
Well, I'm very preoccupied for what's going to happen to our planet in the future. Because we see the natural resources are now in danger.
I have a question for John. So, when you say like choosing our leaders and selection of leadership, what do you mean by that?
Well, we in the election. This is an election year, right? So we have our president Barack Obama, and some people will like him to continue, and some people would like somebody else to take his place. So this is very relevant, especially because we're in an election year.
Okay.
And I think that the American president is crucial for the future of the entire world.
Something else here about some kind of quality of.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Democratic Party or Republican Party. We need to see someone who has the quality to bring us beyond the crisis that will be coming in the future, because they're coming. They will be coming. So
really educate leaders, not only for them to think about fixing problems that are here now, but also that can look beyond the future. That how about you saying natural resources, about maybe like in 20, 30, 50 years, it might be a really catastrophic problem, with the population increasing, and our more problems arising. That I really agree, raising that more leaders to be more aware of the future.
Not lost, but like people have never really known what a leader was before. Because if you think about it, we go back years history. Middle Ages. Before that, pharaohs would be, they would just be chosen, and they would be like the cruel leaders. So everybody back then thought a leader was cruel, so nobody dared to be a leader. Then we came to elections. Then we came. And then we realized that we cannot also make good decisions. We can also choose bad presidents, bad leaders.
That's right.
And I think that now what we're trying to do as this small group and other small groups probably doing are educating people of how to be a good leader, not just be a leader. So there's a difference.
Paragraph was the first line of the last paragraph, second sentence of the last paragraph. Why is there comparatively so much preoccupation of leadership? And as Rebecca was saying, I think it's because we all want a leader because we all see the problems in our world, right? Everyone's saying, man, who's going to fix all this stuff? When is it going to end? And I think that's a problem. We are waiting so much for someone to fix it, we're not fixing it, And the decisions we make, ultimately, we will be the leaders of how these problems will end. It's not going to come, out of the sky.
In the future, what do you mean by that? Because there could be danger right now happening, and we don't know about it.
Yeah, my concern is the population is increasing every year, and we have now close to 6 billion people in this world, and then I think we don't have enough food for the people.
Who's allergic to peanuts? I never knew somebody could be allergic to anything. I thought everybody could just eat food and be happy. But so I guess the government or whatever you mentioned is trying to get things in our head to not buy, and then sell to other people that don't care. It's all a game basically. Like the news.
You talk about politicians,
the media, all of that. It's all a game, because they're all trying to get you to listen. So they'll keep coming up with studies. Like they said, beer was good for you.
She brings up a good point. Because
what'd you say?
That beer was good.
Beer is good.
Beer's good.
Beer is good.
I mean, it's a trend, because it connects to everything. People get sick, hospitals make money. Companies from beers advertise that beer is good, people buy it. It's all a trend. It connects.
So
But I mean, the question is, I think the question boils down to: are we more concerned with keeping up this business or saving people's lives? Like, am I more concerned if it is, like you were saying, Joel, like a trend? Am I more concerned about advertising so you can benefit with your money, or do I just want to preserve the life of these people? That's the question. But I had a question. I also agree with Rebecca.
Wait, you're jumping. You got very fast.
Preserve his life, but basically, if I'm not making no business, I can't survive. So I have to sell whatever product I have to consumer.
Survival of the fittest.
So exactly, survival of the fittest. It's like if we're lacking of resources, we may say now that I'm gonna share the wealth, but in reality, if we lack resources, it's all about survival of the fittest. So basically, I'm gonna.
What ends up being the case that we normally look at what we need before would help someone else. And I mean, logically speaking.
Wait, what's this we? You start bunching us all together.
Alright.
You start saying we. Who's the we? You're
A
talking about?
person.
This royal we.
A person who is in the position to give help. That person normally says, okay, let me make sure that I have everything together before I help the person, right? Which is what Joel was saying, you know, I gotta make sure that I survive. But what I feel is we get so carried.
No, that's not what Joel was saying. Joel was saying something else.
Joel said that what it is,
Joel,
tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You said that the reason why we don't give, you know, the logical thing, the obvious thing is we want to preserve the person's life. But I can't preserve his life if I'm not taking care of my own life.
What I was saying is, before we got into lack of resources,
okay.
What I was saying is, you stated that basically, in order, and the logical thing would be that we're thinking about the human's life,
right?
The health, being able to, you know, protecting basically a human. But what I was studying was that in order for me to survive, let's say a beer I sell beer,
okay,
I have to sell my product.
Stay with the beer.
I'm gonna tie it up. Don't worry. So you begin with tobacco and beer.
I am worried because you're going to go too far with this. No. You have to stay with the group discussion.
I am.
And stay with Joel's saying, and he stay with his.
Okay, fine. It's gonna be the same thing anyway. So beer, right? Something that can potentially harm a human and other humans. Okay. The question is, am I gonna make a company which has the risk of hurting someone's life because I want to make money? You understand?
Are you asking him or are you telling him?
Are you asking?
Are you asking?
Just keep it in your mind. Like, I haven't even finished my thought yet.
No, Jorge. This is a discussion. This is not for you to tell him.
I'm not telling him, right?
Okay, are you asking him?
I'm not asking him. Right?
Okay, exactly. In our group discussion, we don't come together to tell one another.
It's true.
All the time with your opinion. But we want, first of all, to listen. And then after that, we can respond. See, telling doesn't come into group. You see, we're not teaching each other here.
Right.
We're discussing. This is very important. Okay? No matter what, if I feel I like beer or not, I like beer. Listen to
I'm listening to everyone. It sounds really dynamic and everything, but I wouldn't, you know, I mean, like you were saying earlier, survival of the fittest, right? Yeah, I mean, just like you were saying, you know, what would you do if you're creating a profit over something, a product that is causing harm to people?
Okay, right.
So you're trying to shut that down. So if he were to happen to shut you down, and we go back to survival of the fittest, where I'm guessing you would have to find a new line of work, you know. But of course, if you're making millions in it, then I mean you would thrive, and you know, obviously your business would be booming.
It's a sense of a businessman. My product is to sell in order for me to make business. I'm not forcing the consumer. I'm not telling you have to take my product. But in terms of my business, I'm gonna advertise it.
And if we look at this country and look at capitalism and the free economy, we give freedom to everyone to do business. In terms of leadership, leadership is everybody, not just people in the political office, but the business person, the family person, the single person, the married person, okay, whatever. So, but we want to we have certain values.
To our little brothers, our parents are leaders to us, is whether we learn from the leader the good stuff, because nobody's perfect. You know, I think we all know that. You're not perfect, your parents aren't perfect. So as a follower or as a soon-to-be leader, you have to pick out the things of each person you're following and pick out the good things. So you could be a better leader than them. Because I think as anybody's, you know, if you're an apprentice of somebody, you want your apprentice to be better than you, because when he's up there, you can be like, I taught him. You know, wouldn't that make you proud?
Right.
As a parent, I'm not a parent, but my mom says that she wants me to succeed in life, and it's not for her. You know, she's not succeeding. I am, but she can say that's my daughter. You know, I think we all have to choose. We all have to be smart. We all have to be educated. You know, I believe that education is a huge part of your life to think outside and be more aware of things going around you, because you need to pick out the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going back into resources for everybody. You know, I think everybody needs everything. Some people need beer. Some people need tobacco. Some people need drugs. But are those the good things you need? That's the question.
If you anything can be harmful to yourself if you don't have self-control. So I think that one of the main virtues that you can get from your own parents or school is the virtue of knowing how to control yourself. So I know if I have this painkiller, I know if I can take it once and it will help me feel better. But if I take it many times, it can kill me.
Addiction.
I can say to the drug company, it's your fault because you created this painkiller. Pain. It's my fault too. What will help me relax and feel a little bit better. I think that would be okay. But if I can't control myself and I drink 20 beers and because of that I go and I beat my wife, that's a bad thing. I cannot say it's because of the beer company.
Maybe someday, God willing, or the person's humanity, the owner of a beer company might, Joel, say you own the business, you might say, looks like Spanish people really like the beer.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I can see also there's an issue of family breakdown. Maybe something's happening. Can we invest in some kind of educational program? Not that the beer is bad, but the misuse of, and which carries over into the family. The overuse of something, right, can really then ruin a family. And it is true, because then we have dysfunctional families. That's I think that's what we're saying. We're not trying to push out anybody here, one better the other, but how can we converse, a conversation about?
It's not going to. I mean, that's my belief. It's not going to. There's other people that they'll sit on YouTube and look at what people have to say and put up videos of how it really is gonna end and all of that. But I don't believe it.
Okay, so what's the basis of your belief?
Well,
Okay, is it okay? You want to hear that?
Yeah.
Would you like to know that? Okay, let's stay together in one mind. I don't want you all going away, going to California right now. I know, Alex, you're in California surfing out there. Okay, go ahead.
well, if the world was gonna end in 2012, I believe that it will be supposedly it's supposed to end in December 2012. I believe we will be struggling all the way from the starting of 2012 to the end of it. Like, things will happen. Not all of us could just die at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Is
Dinosaurs did.
I'm sorry.
Dinosaurs did.
dinosaurs were extinct.
I mean, I think I have a point.
Excuse me, we're in New York. What happened? And what happened already with 9/11?
Yeah.
If we learned a lesson is that we don't have control, always a total control of life. We've shown that we can, the same people as you and I, made of the flesh, they can also make a big error and just kill many people. That with a switch, with just a button, can finish everything. And that's, I mean, we have goodwill here at this table, but I'm not forecasting. I'm not forecasting anything. I'm just saying, introducing that there is that part. I agree with you, Luciano, partially what you're saying, because we're about bringing this up, but also I see there's another element that's, needs to be introduced here too.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just gonna put something up. I'm also like your belief. Nothing's gonna happen in 2012, but I do strongly believe. But I do believe something. I mean, the world's not gonna end, but I do believe something is gonna happen. You know, whether it be a minor thing or a big thing. Maybe not even be December. Maybe it might be before, because as you know, Mr. Goblin said that we don't have control over anything. I hadn't had it since '69. Yeah, since 1969 was in October. We barely had winter. Yesterday was hot. Today was cold, foggy. You know, it might be coincidence, maybe just in my head, you know, but I think something is gonna happen, but maybe not gonna kill us all. You know, I don't think Jesus is gonna come and be like, you're all dead. But, you know, something will happen, my belief.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to put
Are
anybody
you
down.
talking about something good or something bad? I mean,
That's the question that I cannot answer, or I cannot, like, opinion on, because I really don't know.
know something. And so each of you does contribute to the 2012. Now lift me up after somebody just brought me down. Okay? I mean, because I want to know.
I mean, just to touch upon what we were
Because one of you talked about the elections, and then talked about this, and the leadership, the quality of leadership, the choice of leadership. Leadership come forth. I mean, he's not an Easter bunny. John's not an Easter bunny talking about the false hope and the magic. But he says somebody come, you know, the leadership can come forward, also you can choose leadership. Go on, you're on, John.
So still focus on what everybody, and let's take our heads off the bad things. Let's focus on what we're doing now.
Okay, all right, Joe.
Everybody has beliefs, right? Where everybody has different beliefs is what's gonna happen. That's something that everybody goes through. For example, like the Mayan calendar. Mayans believed that the world was gonna end in 2012. That's where we have leaders, and that's what our leaders is trying to focus on to better off, which is now the recession, which is lack of work. Now we can't, later on, we might face other tragedies that leaders might have to take place into that, and to take into, and take in that, and
So like, what are we doing today to get there? And not only that, but I really feel like, yeah, there's, you know, the leaders are taking care of it, the leaders that are leading right now, but also it's their job to lead us, the young people, in order to take their place one day, so that we can come stronger than they were, you know, than they are right now.
Wait. If I understood Joel right. Okay, Joel. He was saying something different. Okay, now follow me. Now, Joel's saying here that it's not, we can't say what's going to happen tomorrow. This is the key point of what he was sharing, and it's radical. He's picking up over here on what both Luciano and Rebecca were saying, okay? And that is that leadership must be concerned, and we are the leadership at this table. You are the leadership at this table. We're not followers. We're not sheep. You know, but we said we're the leaders.
That's right.
I believe. In other words, and we shouldn't worry about, because disasters or tragedies are going to happen. Whatever, there might be planes dropping, whatever might happen, you know, wars, but we can predict this today. And I really think this is what Joel was pushing on. And I really want you to all to understand this point he's saying something about. It's where my mindset, where my actions are right here. Now, can you say something about that or not?
Yeah, I can, because what you're doing today.
Is that right, Joel? Would you?
Yeah, what you're doing today is going to determine where you end up tomorrow, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I strongly agree with that, because if you don't have any kind of goals or any kind of vision from where you see yourself 10 years from now, 20 years from now, then you'll just happen to be wherever you end up, you know. And as leaders, as future leaders, we can't be like that. We can't just, you know, wander aimlessly in the crowd. Like, you know, of course, we're being called to be leaders ourselves. So I agree.
Said about the, you know, like about the whole tomorrow thing.
Predicting tomorrow.
Now, what you said the key word. You have to prepare yourself for the future. Now, what Joel said, you have to have the right mindset for today in order to go on for tomorrow. You know, like, you can't say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You have to prepare yourself for it. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen. You know, people could die in their sleep. You taking the train could collapse or something. You know, like, tomorrow's never promised. You have to live for what is today, and like, right when, God forbid, right when we leave, what if there's like a freaking bomb in the train station? You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, okay, well, tomorrow this is gonna happen, because you don't know.
But we do know. I did learn from 9/11, though. We did know from 9/11 that we have a history of making enemies in this country. And we had to find out why were we attacked not only here, but in Washington, Pennsylvania. Why is it there was a threesome effort to completely stop this nation, this world, this economy, Wall Street included, and everything, and also the Pentagon. So in other words, today, based on what we're doing, are we making enemies today? Because tomorrow, that enemy is not going to go away.
Exactly right.
That enemy is going to hurt me. We've got to do something. If we keep doing what we were doing in the past, today, then tomorrow is going to be like the past. And it's going to predict that I'll do this. And if my daughter does get ill, I can predict what I will do in that event. I will back myself up this way. So what we have to do is, by our actions, decisions to go here, to go there, if I'm making a decision, I have to follow through with that decision. That's what we're saying. In other words, you decided to come here, and if your daughter should get ill, rather than saying, oh, then you have to run that way, we have to assume, taking leadership role, we have to say, I have to back myself up and see who have I got to back myself up. Because I want to be at that meeting. This is important for the sake of my daughter even. My daughter doesn't know it right now because she might be ill. Is decided by us being, because the past has been, we never met together with people. This table here, I know, you have not known each other before. You did not even know you would be here, and it happened. Who decided it? You did. Nobody here is paid. None of us is paid to be here. You decided, and that's you got to give yourself an applause for that. Okay? You know, talking about 3 TVs. We're talking about the microwaves and everything. We're draining. We're taking from the resources only for it. We have to think more about how that would dramatically change the world energy. So energy, we have to think in terms of energy, what we're doing. That's what John raised that point. So, okay, you follow what I'm saying?
I follow what you're saying.
Yeah, especially with you. Thank you. You brought the issue very well. You brought it to it.
I wanted to say something because just it's a little earlier to what Alex was saying. And by the way, I hope that Joel didn't feel like we were taking him down about his prediction idea. But what were you saying? What you were saying anyway?
Who's we? You or
us all we were saying that prediction we can predict.
Please speak, Jorge. Please speak for yourself.
But I'm quoting what we said.
I'm sorry.
I'm quoting what Eileen, Rebecca, you, me, and John said that we can predict the near future. Did you say that?
See, first of all, listen, it's small group. It's small group. It's clear that when you phrase, you want to come out and say something, you don't have to.
That we have to take in account for first than other things, money or helping others. I think it was a good thing to think about.
I'm gonna make this quick.
Okay, it was very nice. I think it's a privilege to have college students here with us talking. I'm also a college student, so it's very nice having Eileen and Joel come. I think you guys contributed very well to the conversation. I think it's good that we have a sense of a global need.
And what leaders are focused and what leaders are supposed to do in order to increase better off the society and lack of resources.
Luciana, Rebecca, also Alex, and Jorge, and John.
Well, let me say something because I'm still in the group.
Go ahead. It's just that
My first time, and I brought my boyfriend Joel. So, I respect everyone's opinion. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone has a different mind frame. But it was good. There was a little bit push, but it's okay.
Bring to the table in our discussion and form more of an understanding and awareness about the future. And for the sake, I felt tonight we weren't criticizing anybody. That's what happens a lot. But instead we were contributing by seeing how can we come away with more of a grip about leadership. We unplug the leadership so we can get back on the road again, the train of leadership. I want to conclude by saying thank you very much here at Love and Life Ministry at 4 West 43rd Street. Thank you everybody for coming, each and every one of you. And remember what I say when we conclude, it only takes a spark to get a fire going. Thank you very much.
All right.